Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode, PlayFrame, and Bozjan. The grind begins. Tantalus is going to war, and I couldn't be more proud. The amount of prep these people have done in advance of this grind and recording event, y'all have no idea. I'll get more into it later, but today we begin our grind in the southern Bozjan front, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. But I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing, obviously. That would be ridiculous. We'll be jumping around a little bit. I'll show enough so that you have a general idea of what the experience is like, explain some things along the way, and anytime we got a story quest to do, well, you'll be seeing all of that, obviously. You know how this works. You're several hundred episodes into this playthrough by now. I don't know if a cost has ever been sunk as deep as this. We'll find out together. To battle! And so the great war effort began, with the Tantalus Theatre Company temporarily foregoing all dramatic endeavors in order to rally on the field of battle, coordinating with remarkable efficiency and not a little unsettling lethality, given their ostensibly theatrical profession. In little to no time at all, a young Derman Durami was shooting up the ranks. Let's check in with him now. Okay, all right. Gotten a good, fine start to our grind, but we've got more than enough to rank up, and rank up we shall. Hello. Blade Durami. What news from the front lines? I am here to offer proof of metal. Were there not other soldiers to account for it, I would believe your report a work of fiction. I know, they're incredibly organized out there. I'm mostly just sitting and watching and holding the camera. The troops will no doubt be inspired when they hear of your accomplishments. I look forward to hearing more of your continued success in the field. Charitable of you to call that my success, but I'll take it, thank you. Up in rank we go. Before you go, I'm pleased to report our quartermaster's seen fit to expand your Lost Finds holster. I trust you'll put our additional stock of resources to good use. You bet I will try to remember. If you have nothing else to report, I'll not keep you. Unless, of course, there's more to tell of your endeavors on the front lines. Do I have more to report? Ha, I suspected as much. Well, let's have it then. The troops will no doubt be inspired, right? Goodness, look at me go. This crew's been doing good work. Okay, very good. Pretty close, honestly, even to getting the next rank. Bonkers. But okay, off we go then. Alrighty. A little more fighting and I'm ready for rank 5, I think. Which should be pretty good. Because I believe it's going to get us access to a little more area of map. And allow us to do the next quest, which is the most important thing. Before you go, I am pleased to report our quartermaster writes the same text. That's going to be the same all the times we do this. I don't need to read it every time. I should also mention that research on the forgotten fragments is proceeding apace, and our appraisers are confident they can identify a greater variety of fragments. I pray they will be of use to you in battle. Thank you. From what our scouts have told me, the fighting grows ever fiercer, more desperate with each passing day. I have no doubt you have dealt with such overwhelming odds before, but I would remind you to stay vigilant. There's no telling what they have planned. When fighting at resistance rank 5 or higher, incapacitation will result in a loss of metal. Oh yeah, we're bringing back the Final Fantasy XI/Eureka de-leveling rules. Now that I am rank 5 or higher, death has consequences in terms of, like, experience or metal, I guess, as it's called. Furthermore, the use of return after incapacitation will incur even more. Right, I've explained it before, and it doesn't really matter that much for y'all. Just know that I have to be somewhat careful. A little bit. I've got a lot of people protecting me. If you have nothing else to report, I'll not keep you. I pray you stay safe out there, Blade Durami. Thank you. I've got a quest to go do. Excuse me. Dimitar. I'm rank 5 now, did you see? Dimitar has exciting news to share from the southern front. Blade Durami, we received word from the field. The Empire's forces have fallen back. In fact, our troops have pushed forward far enough as to claim an enemy encampment near the southern entrenchment. My commanding officer has instructed me to give you a brief tour of the site at your earliest convenience. I will await you there. Fantastic. Well, let me go catch up. Here we are. A little bit of a hike getting over here required a little bit of protection to survive. I mean, I'd have probably been fine, but much more expedient this way. Anyhow, I arrive. Welcome to Olana's stand. If you wish to travel between here and Utya's Aegis, feel free to use that aetherite shard over there. I would suggest attuning to it before you leave. And one last thing. While we've made great strides in our fight against the Empire, there's still much to be done before we can retake Castrum Lacosatori. I expect the enemy will only grow more determined as we advance forward, but we must press on. For Bozjan! For Bozjan. Thanks for showing me all the way to the door. Unnecessary, but I appreciate it. The Resistance front line advances, allowing you to participate in new skirmishes and critical engagements. The next quest can be accepted by speaking with It Doesn't Matter. We've got so much more fighting and grinding and whatnot to do. Here's our new forward advanced camp, though. The first of several, and this is going to make life a little more convenient for me. There we are. So yeah, we've kind of fought around in this area, and we'll be hopping back here for big important fights from time to time, but we got to advance this map further and further, push that front line all the way up to the Castrum. All right, back to it. Let's go. So as long as we're running around out here, let me do a slightly better job explaining what the basic mechanics are out here. Running around these big battlefields are two kinds of enemy. The general wildlife, just creatures wandering about, and these Garlean Machina enemies, each of which drops resources that can be pretty helpful for the war effort, but neither of which provide you with the metal you need in order to rank up and progress the story. In order to get metal, you need to participate in specific kinds of battle encounters, and these fall into more or less three categories. The first are skirmishes, which are basically the same thing as fates. They pop up all around the battlefield, you defeat a small little army of specific enemies out there, you complete the skirmish, and you get a bunch of metal for your trouble. Pretty standard so far. More interesting are the next category, critical engagements, which are essentially boss fights. There tends to be specific conditions required that you need to fulfill in order to make these pop up, but once they do, between 24 and 48 people can all hop into that little battle arena and do a little boss fight, which normally can be quite challenging, but everyone here knows very well what they're doing, so we tend to burn through them pretty quick and pretty smoothly. But then there are the most unique and easily the most interesting kind of encounter of all, duels. After specific critical engagements, there is a chance that it might initiate a duel with a specific high-ranking Garlean officer character. That duel will select one person, one specific person, from that group that just finished the corresponding critical engagement and challenge them to the duel. And if they accept, they get to go and fight this boss all by themselves. Everyone else just has to stand outside and watch. And I really want to stress that this is not at all an easy boss fight. It is actually very hard, because if you get hit by a single dodgeable mechanic, like a single danger puddle, you die and you lose. They are very hard. The Dantalis Theater Company folk, who have been preparing for all this for months, have had specific players assigned to practice and study up on each fight in order to be ready for that duel. They have been practicing for months, and even with all of that preparation, they are still sometimes losing because it's just a really, really hard fight that you cannot mess up even a little bit. But if you do manage to succeed, all of the players who gathered around watching you will get a buff that basically doubles the amount of metal they receive in Bozjan for the next hour, which is a huge buff. It's a big reason why we've been able to burn through so much of this content as quickly as we are. It's a really cool system. Fun fact, one of the critical engagements out here, or several of them actually, involve the return of MathBot and having to solve math problems on the fly. Harder than it looks. Goodness gracious. I cannot believe how fast ranking up is happening out here. I've got enough for like rank 8. We've been here just barely over an hour. These geese move fast. Several rank ups later. Okay, Mikoto, I am ready to check in. How goes? Mikoto and Misia are ready to put their plan into action. Hello. Apologies for the delay, but as you can see, the ether monitoring devices have finally arrived. Cool. Hello. Oh my, Durman! Suddenly, I'm glad the chief insisted I make the delivery. I believe you and Miss Mikoto ordered these? The spectrometer needs a touch more fine-tuning, but it should be ready in no time at all. The sensors are to be placed at key locations close to the largest ether currents in the region. Once Lilia has finished making the final adjustments to the spectrometer, we can activate them remotely and isolate the ethereal signature we're looking for. It may seem somewhat far-fetched, but the theory is sound. Think of the ether currents as streams flowing underground, which, at certain locations, converge into larger rivers. The streams can prove quite difficult to trace. The rivers, less so. As you might imagine, because these rivers are a confluence of myriad streams, it is no simple task to filter out and extract ether of a specific frequency. Which is why, before anything can be done, we first need a thorough analysis of the ether flowing through these larger currents. Once the signature we're after has been isolated, we can then trace it back to its source. One current flows here, under this very camp. After setting sensors at 2 additional sites, we should be able to gather enough data to isolate the desired signature. Once traced back to its source, we should find something of a reservoir, hopefully with suitable stores of ether to charge the crystal focus. Unfortunately, the 2 remaining sites where we intend to place sensors are presently points of conflict with the Empire. Might we ask that you go and set them? Oh, don't feel bad. Everyone asks me to do things. And there's like 30 people defending me. No, there's like more than 30 people defending. There's a lot of people defending me. I'll mark the locations on your map. Once the sensors are in place, use this link pearl to contact us. I know this all sounds rather hazardous, but if anyone can make a success of this plan, it's you. I'm on the job. My team is on the job, I should say. Okay, let's go find these spots. Let's see. Okay, all clear. I've arrived at the location. Neat view. Looking about the area, there seems to be no way to cross the ravine. If you would reach the site of the ether current, you must enlist further aid from the Resistance. Well. Oh. I'm in a new place. Sweet. Resistance moves fast. Observe. Oh no. Enemies. Get out of here. Let's see if I can remember how to actually fight for myself. Okay, there we are. Handled. Still got it. Initiating the data collection protocol. Whoa. Fancy. I assume it was supposed to do that. We've confirmed activity on our end. The sensor has burrowed into the ground, yes? Excellent. The rest we can handle from here. Return to base and be careful. Alrighty. Well, let us begin the careful hike back. All right, I return. Weird thing buried in ground. What's next? Welcome back, Durman. With the first sensor in place, Messia can begin... Wait, where did she... Oh, there she is. And why is it that you get to stay here, safe and sound, while the rest of us throw our lives away out there? Oh, how she must have begged and pleaded for the commander to let her stay. Please, Commander Bozjan, don't make me go. I'll do anything to remain here at camp. Pathetic. Though I suppose you've never been one above begging, have you? We'll see who's begging when I gut you like a fish. That's enough! All of you! Our fight is with the Empire, not our brothers and sisters in arms. Should I hear so much as a whisper of such demeaning remarks again, you'll find judgment not before a court-martial, but here before my blade's edge. Am I understood? Messia! Let me speak with them. I'm certain they did not mean to make such crass remarks. So you would defend them, then? Not as such, but you know how soldiers can be, especially those of supposedly gentle blood. They probably think of it as idle banter is all. You and I are from different worlds, Marsoc. Overhear them, did you? What an embarrassment. Those buffoons are an unfortunate reminder of our past. You see, Bozjan rose above its humble beginnings to become a prosperous nation due in no small part to contributions of the nobility. To outsiders, it exemplified the qualities of an ideal republic. Appearances can be deceiving, however. The disparity between nobles and commoners proved a chasm that could never be filled. Even under imperial rule, vestiges of that great divide would remain. I wished to believe everyone shared my vision of a unified Bozjan, where all are equal in dignity and rights. But there are those who long for the status and privilege of that supposed golden era, when wealth and power were one and the same. And for every one of the haves, there were 1,000 have-nots. Messia's family was of the latter. As a child, she walked for hours each day, to and from school, in hope of a better life. The Imperials recognized her dedication and saw fit to educate her. Her talent has earned her no small amount of envy from her peers. Nevertheless, she is a faultless example of what a good soldier should be. That anyone would take her being low-born as justification for ridicule is absurd. I'll not stand for it. Might I ask that you keep this between us? While I am loath to sweep such matters under the rug, to address them here and now could very well undermine all we fought so hard to achieve. You're the boss. Well, let me go check in. See how this group is going. I had a talk with Jessie and convinced her to let me stay here at the Southern Front. Isn't that great? Not sure what help I can be to an accomplished hero such as yourself, but if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to ask. On that note, is there anything I can do for you now? I would love to hear all this, but there's a bunch of people waiting. I will catch up with you a little later, when I'm not stalling lots of people. Are you okay? I understand that you're no stranger to battle with the Empire. Having crossed blades with such a redoubtable foe before, I must ask, do you believe there's any chance that I've definitely heard this from you before? Like 100%. Probably multiple times. Nope. No. Misclicked. Okay. Sorry, Mikoto, please, go ahead. The very moment our analysis of the ether current is complete, you will be the first to know. though I'm afraid we must ask you to delve deeper into enemy territory to reach the next site. A fool's errand unless we can drive the Empire's forces back further. I trust we can count on your assistance in that regard? Of course we can. At least, I think so. We can, right? I think so. That's the plan anyway. Also, I did it already, so... Mikoto has located another ether current. Your timing's perfect as always. We've just located a third current. I'll mark the destination on your map. This third site should provide us ample data to trace, and I've said data and data both ways equal times in this episode alone, and I trip over it and second guess it every time. I should choose one of these days. This third site should provide us ample data to trace an ideal ethereal signature. I should also mention this site is host to ancient Bozjan ruins. Our data suggests they date back to the Third Astral Era, but I cannot say for certain. What I can say is the undead are known to roam the lands there at night, so stay on your guard. I wish I could accompany you, but I would only slow you down. Please be careful out there. You betcha. Off we go. Okay, so we're up, like, here in the top corner now, and it's kind of the most dangerous place in the zone. They weren't joking when they warned us about the undead and whatnot. Fortunately, we're still in the daytime hours, which is good. So the zombie enemies aren't here, but much like Final Fantasy XI, there's enemies that can aggro you by other, like, means. It's not just seeing you. Some of them will aggro you by sound, which means that if you are running and not, like, going at your walking slow speed, they will aggro you. Or there's others where if you're at low health, they will aggro you to that instead. Like, lots of dangerous things out here. Fortunately, the most dangerous aren't here, but still, my backup is out there to sort of, like, killing off as many threats as possible to make sure that Derman survives his adventures out here. This is apparently the sort of place where you can kind of just very easily get just a chain of attempted revivals that go wrong, and so that your, like, saviors themselves need reviving. So someone will die, someone will try to come over to revive and save them, but they'll be at low health, and so they will probably aggro some other enemy out here, and then both of them will die, and they'll need someone else to come and try to revive both of them. Repeat, ad infinitum. Fortunately, none of that's happening right now. Really handy having this much backup. And into the ground you go. Well, go on. Do it. Do the thing. Very good. Starting data collection protocol. There it goes. All systems are fully operational. You're free to return to camp. Thank you. Huh. That spot seems neat. What is that? Oh, you brought me all the way back here. How nice. You're all so kind. Yeah, lovely. Okay. We'll just warp on back to the main camp and report. How's it going? Oh, welcome back, Derman. From what we can discern, the sensors are still fully operational, but the spectrometer is not receiving any of their data. One of the contact plugs to the transmitter appears to be damaged. I can fix it, but in all honesty, it would probably be faster to get a new one from our facility in Doma. Do you want me to go do that real quick? I'll hear none of that. Running errands is my job, not yours. I don't know. I feel like in most circumstances and most places I go, running errands has very much been my job. But it's kind of you to take over for a little while. I appreciate the assistance. If it's all the same to you, I think it best if I go. There's still work for you to do here, Lilia. Are you sure? So long as the control panel's broken, there's naught else I can do. What's more, this affords me the opportunity to finally see Doma. Well, who am I to deny you your first trip there? I'll let Jesse know you're on your way. Have a good trip. It's very pretty there. Enjoy some good food. Don't trust the fish. All right. A new contact plug is ready and waiting for Messia. Sure was nice of her to save me the trip back. Having her around to help has truly been a blessing. I dare not think how long it would have taken to analyze the crystal focus, let alone locate the ether currents. And of course, your contributions to the resistance have been invaluable as well. Once the spectrometer is operational again, it won't be long before the crystal focus is working. I'm sure of it. Excellent. Glad to hear. Seems like we're making good progress out here. Meanwhile, at the ruins of Bozjan. Hello. That's a look. Hurry now. The commander hasn't all day. At last, the Lady of Blades. Save the Queen. Simply exquisite. Time has done little to mar her beauty. What is it? We've captured an intruder, sir. We believe them to be of the Resistance. Hey! Stand aside. Sir? You heard the commander? Stand aside or I'll report you for insubordination. Sir. Is this indeed the blade we've been searching for? Yes, there can be no doubt. Only the blade of the Queen herself bore these inscriptions. Then our plan proceeds apace. Excellent. Sir, I just received word from Sicinius. They found it. Very good. Then let us return to Castrum Lacos Litori. Another relic. Nothing for you to concern yourself with, my dear. Yes, forgive me. I trust your absence will go unnoticed. Sir, I tampered with the spectrometer per your instructions, permitting me the opportunity to leave their base. I will return after a brief trip to Doma. Well done. Legatus Gabranth will be certain to hear of your deeds thus far. But lest you forget, though victory is close at hand, any mistakes will have dire consequences. Am I understood? Yes, sir. How dare. There you are. I'm afraid it'll be a while longer before the spectrometer's operational. But never fear, you'll be the first to know when we're ready to resume our work. Fantastic. I'm ready to resume our work. I'm the first to know it, and now all of you know it. Well, or I guess I'm ready to resume different work. Hi, Dimitar. Dimitar has more good tidings to share from the Southern Front. Excellent. I'm happy to report our soldiers have dealt another heavy blow to the Empire's forces. Our front lines again pushed forward and seized another outpost at Old Bozjan. My commanding officer has asked that I take you to the site, if you would follow me. Okie dokie. You could just point me in the direction. I've got escorts, but... No, you're right. This is more fun. Okie dokie, here we go. We've made it all the way around to here. I don't know how you're getting here so fast. This is Lunya's stand. The Garleans made us work for it, but it's finally ours. If we can continue to keep pressure on the Empire's forces, I imagine they'll have no choice but to retreat back to the Castrum ere long. That means we've no time to rest on our laurels. They're certain to do all in their power to slow our advance. I hope we can count on you to keep fighting the good fight. I'm only doing a tiny, tiny fraction of the fighting, and it's mostly decorative, but yes, I will do my part, for whatever worth that part is. The Resistance front line advances, allowing you to participate in new skirmishes and critical engagements. The next quest can be accepted by speaking with Mikoto after reaching Resistance rank 9 or higher. Fantastic, and we're here! Let me go ahead and get this thing, because it's going to come in real handy. But yeah, now we have access to, I think, the entirety of the Bozjan Southern Front zone. All three of these big chunks now. So, we're going to resume the grind, and I'll be back with you in a bit. Goodness gracious, this squad has moved fast. Like, we were all expecting that I was going to be ranking Derman up pretty quick here, but even even the Dantalis folk who have been coordinating all this are a little surprised at how fast this has moved. It's been honestly amazing to see. Rank me up, please. I am ascending the ranks in this organization faster than anyone could reasonably expect. Very good. All the way up to rank 10 already. Gracious. Which means that our buddies over here should probably have a little more to report. And actually, I can, talk to a couple more of you now safely, because we've wrapped up our grinding for the day and I'm not holding anyone up. Pretty sure you guys are not going to have anything new, but just in case. You have met the new Gunhilder's blades, yes? They are without question the finest of our soldiers, and under their leadership, morale's never been higher. Victory's in reach, my friend. I can feel it. Yeah, I don't think this is anything new. But I did not thoroughly speak with all of you yet, or you. What are you doing? What are you doing? Processing audio data. Please wait. Okay, well, you. I had a talk with Jessie and convinced her to let me stay here on the Southern Front. Isn't that great? Not sure what help I can be to an accomplished hero such as yourself, but if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to ask. On that note, is there anything I can do for you now? There sure is. Tell me more about things like this ether spectrometer. The ether spectrometer? Well, seeing as I haven't read the manual, you'll have to settle for a brief explanation. Just promise not to tell Jessie, okay? Well, the idea for it originally came from Mikoto, and the chief, genius that he is, was able to put her ideas to paper. After that, all it took was a little ingenuity from our engineers to bring everything together. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that, but thanks, Gabe. After the sensors are in place and turned on, they analyzed the ether currents running through the area, and that data is tracked by our monitors here. What makes it so invaluable to our plans is its ability to distinguish between varying ethereal signatures. The large ether currents we're tracking are like giant rivers fed by streams of different kinds of ether. But with the spectrometer, we can easily pick out the specific one we need. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? I think so. Tell me about the recording drone. The what? Oh, right. The chief picked it up on one of his scavenging trips to Allegan Ruins somewhere. It's been surprisingly nice to have around. Goodness knows I can't keep track of everything going on here. Jessie asked that I keep it on at all times. Between you and me, though, I think she just wants to keep a close eye on me. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I'm not sure. Tell me about yourself. Me? But why would you want to know about me? Can't imagine we have many common interests. I'd make for terrible company, what with you being the savior of Eorzea, while I'm just a... Oh, gods. As Lilia's face begins to turn red, her speech becomes increasingly incoherent. You think it best to leave her be. Sorry for making you uncomfortable. And how are we doing lately? I understand that you're no stranger to battle with the Empire. Having crossed blades with such a redoubtable foe before, I must ask, you've definitely said this. Are there any other questions? I don't think so. Okay. Had to make sure. I am ready to report. The look of satisfaction on Mikoto's face suggests all is going according to plan. Great. It worked, Darman. We found a matching ethereal signature and traced it back to its source. Lily is working on a device that'll allow us to charge the crystal focus using the area's ambient ether. As you might expect, its extraction will be delicate work. As such, we would accompany you to oversee the operation ourselves. Shall we be off? Sounds good to me. Let's go. Where are we going, by the way? Oh, okay, up this way. Well, I've got an aetherite accessible at a very nearby camp. Let's save you guys some time. What am I doing? There we are. Now, I will need to use a little bit of caution on the trip over, since I am now by myself, but thanks to some of the stuff we farmed up while the gang was still here, I've got a mount speed increase upgrade, which is going to make it a lot easier to outrun the stuff around here as needed. Oh dear. You guys should have waited up. Bad Imperials. For shame. I should probably focus the mage first, huh? There we go. You're welcome. How we doing? Ugh, my head. All good? My apologies, Derman. Our preoccupation with the extraction device left us all but oblivious to their approach. It'll not happen again. Are you all right? I heard screaming. An ambush by the Garleans. Thankfully, Derman arrived before we came to harm. Another missed opportunity to see him in action. At least you're all unharmed. Lilia, have we reached our destination? I'm picking up a huge rise in levels of NRG 108 waves. It's definitely the place. Then let us begin. How much longer till its energies are fully restored? An excellent question, but unfortunately a rather difficult one to answer with certainty. Considering the high concentrations of ether it's absorbed thus far, I would imagine it has sufficient stores to suit our purposes. We must be mindful, however, that the naturally occurring ether of this location will take time to restore itself, should we need to charge the focus again. Again? No, I don't think that will be necessary. Pardon? One false move, and she dies. Messia, what are you doing? Oh, don't worry. I still have need of you yet. Though if he refuses to stand down... All right. A wise decision. Yeah, right. Man. Inconvenient. Okay, well, let's head on back. What am I doing? I gotta remember, I got snap powers. What am I doing? Oh, well, I guess this is a fine opportunity to see the fine Bozjan war fashion that Quayfriend is wearing. It's very good. Delightful. But right, anyway, let's get out of here. Here we are. So, bad news.
She did what? No, I cannot believe it. By the gods.
And you say she stole the crystal focus as well? I fear we have little time to determine the how and why of her betrayal. Mikoto's rescue must be made a priority. Be that as it may, Messia may not have been working alone. I need you to bring me a list of any close acquaintances she had within the Resistance. I have questions for them.
Yes, sir.
If I'm to be completely honest with you, we haven't the troops to spare for Mikoto's rescue. We're stretched far too thin as it is. But we cannot very well leave her to the mercy of the Empire. That they would capture her alive suggests a plan requiring her expertise and preternatural gifts. Until we can determine precisely where she's being held, I believe what few resources we have would be best focused on storming Castrum Lacos Latore. Once the Castrum falls, her safety can be more easily assured. We'll focus all our efforts on her rescue thereafter. You have my word. Meanwhile, at Castrum Lacos Latore.
And I'm tired of sitting about with our thumbs up our asses. Why wait for reinforcements when we could wipe the Bozjan resistance off the board in one fell swoop? Even with just the troops stationed here at the Castrum, they wouldn't stand a chance.
You've already demonstrated gross insubordination by leading charges into the field against orders. Soldiers have been court-martialed for far less, and such behavior ill befits one of your station. I need not remind you that our true objective is the subjugation of Dalmasca and the seizure of its resources, not to engage in petty skirmishes with these Bozjan curs. They will be dealt with in due course, but only once the Dalmascan resistance has been annihilated. Who do you think you're talking to, boy? I know full well that we need to bring Dalmasca to heel, and I've said from the beginning that invading Bozja was a waste of time. The sooner we get this over with, the better. A waste of time. Yet who was it front and center during the invasion? I hope you've not forgotten the soldiers you sacrificed for the sake of this waste of time. Retaining our foothold here is essential to our plans. Now that Doma and Alamigo have reclaimed their independence, the Bozjans have been inspired to follow suit. Should they succeed, the Dalmascans will be next. We cannot hope to withstand a united resistance from all sides. Don't waste your breath, Abaleo. The only thing this rabid dog understands is bloodshed.
Watch your tongue, or it's your blood that'll be shed next.
Snarl at me all you like, but there's no escaping the truth. The Empire's doomed to fall, and before long the Fourth Legion will have no home to return to.
Your point being?
If Gabranth is to build his new nation, we have to regain control of these provinces.
Well, you know our dear boy Noah better than most, and I'm sure you've made plans of your own for this new nation he's building.
I don't appreciate your tone. Are you implying that I would betray his trust?
Oh, would you stop? If anyone hates this pedantic pageantry more than me, it's you.
Perhaps. But so long as I have a hand to play, am I wrong to keep it?
That's the way of it, huh? Fine, stay here and hatch your schemes. My place is on the battlefield.
Very well, if that is your wish. But when the dust settles and the judgment bells toll, I pray you'll be ready to answer for your transgressions.
Are you certain this is wise?
A dog he may be, but he's not without his uses. I dare say there's none more loyal to Gabranth than the 4th Legion. What's more, he's not so foolish as to seek out the false glory of an honorable death in battle. He and his beasts should prove an adequate distraction for our enemies. In the meantime, I leave the castrum in your hands. Should the Bozjans advance this far, I trust that you will not disappoint me.
By your leave. Interesting. Looking forward to seeing a bit more of them. Our scouts have yet to find any trace of Mikoto, but I promise we will bring her back safely. For now, let us focus our efforts on retaking the castrum. That sounds great to me. Can we, do that now? Can we start doing that now? Maybe? Now, you know what? Let's save a little bit of this for next time. We've done plenty today, and we've plenty more to do in the next episode. Take care, everyone, and I will see you next time for some castrum storming. Goodbye.